Hello, Shan. Jai Shri Mataji.
Uh, Hi, Jai Shri Mataji, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm very happy that I'm talking with you. Um, and thank you very much for accepting to have this interview. And greetings to everybody who are watching us. Usually the Sahaja Yogi watching watch this channel, and I have to tell you that Ali is one of the Sahaja Yogi we meet in Tanzania last year, November, December Tanzanian tour, and I have a short interview with him in the school, a madras, where we give realization, invited by Shan-e-Ali. um, Before we talk, that my purpose was to talk a little bit more and be updated about what's happened after we left, because will be 5 months since we've been there. So I was curious about what's happened. That's why I chased Ali to update me, and he told me, but he was gracious enough to agree for that interview, for that discussion. And but before we go there, like with everybody else, uh, we like to know a little bit more about how Ali come to Sahaja Yoga, what his background, the search in spirituality, and things like that. So, dear Ali, can you please tell us a little bit more about yourself? Where are you from? Your education, your quest for spirituality?
Sure. Daniel, thanks for the intro. Just allow me just 30 seconds just to close something and I'll be back in 30 seconds. Yeah?
Okay, so we start with a break. In the meantime, I I have to tell you that I'm talking with our listener and viewers that this experience in Tanzania, in this madras, which was situated in Zanzibar, which is a part, an island. It's Tanzania. It's a federation, and Zanzibar is part of that federation. It's an island, a very beautiful island, and so there, Shan-e-Ali asked us, invite us to the matras to give realization to the kids. So that was a fantastic experience. So,
Yeah, it was
dear,
super.
dear friend, please let us know a little bit more about you.
Yeah, okay, thanks for the break. Okay, so a little bit about me is I've always had an inclination to spirituality from the ages of 5 and 6. I was grew up Muslim. I'm still Muslim, and yeah, so the mosques provided with me with a really good insight into how to be good, how to have good morals, how to have good character, how to do things in a way that your character doesn't slip. And I think spirituality starts first with character, because if you have bad character or bad morals or bad practices, then spirituality is like it's a bit pointless. So um, yeah, so growing up in the mosques taught me good character and good morals. And then the particular background of Islam that I come from is Shia Ithna Ashari,
Yes.
and that particular aspect of Islam is wonderful for inspiring um, grit, determination, and standing for the truth, because it's inspired by Hazrat Hussein, which was
Yes.
um, he was a real someone who could really stand up to oppression.
Yes.
So the Khilafat and the sort of the Islamic empire was governed by bad rulers, like it is today, like Donald Trump.
Yes. Yes.
And then the leaders that came to him and they said, "Okay, we want you to sort of bow down to us, and we want to do stuff that you're not happy with." And he said, "No, I'd rather die. Give me dignity or give me death."
Yes.
And yeah, so for him and his family, they gladly chose death. And this is the culture I come from. This is the culture of the current Iranian people. So they're more than happy you know, to give their lives in the pursuit of standing up for the truth. So this is the culture where we come from, and this is the inspiration and dedication and devotion for chasing the truth, chasing the truth. So in pursuit of this truth, I always sort of tried to be of good character. Obviously, not always, definitely not always. But I tried to be of good character, and then upon that, we built the pursuit of spiritual practice. So I pursued a lot in zikr, in Sufism, and in different practices within the Shia faith. But within the Shia faith, I think there's room for growth in terms of the actual spiritual practices. So I found Pete from Birmingham, who was an incredible meditator, and I was drawn to him. He's an incredibly strong guy. He's an incredibly strong and fit guy, and I think he's in his 80s, and he's super strong. No, in his 70s, in his late 70s.
Just a
But he
second.
looks like he's in his 50s. Yeah.
Yeah. I promise I will go there because that's one of the point of our discussion to know how you
Yeah.
get the
Yeah.
realization. But before that,
Yeah. Yeah.
I still want to know, for the sake of our viewers,
Yeah.
your family background and your
Yes.
education, because you are an educated man and you have a interesting also family background. So you are
Sure.
born in Tanzania. You are born in Tanzania from
Yeah. Yeah.
a family of Indian who came in Tanzania many generation ago. Yes?
Nearly correct. My family's born here. My sisters, my parents, my grandparents, maybe my great grandparents. I was born in England.
Aha.
So yes, all Tanzanians were at that time in the 70s were British under the British Empire.
Under the British Empire,
So
obviously, because as a
yeah,
colony.
so
Yes.
they got a chance to take the British passport. But if they take the British passport, then they can't have a Tanzanian passport. So then my parents and my sisters, they moved to England, and yeah, I was born in England. I was born
Okay.
in the Empire.
You are born
I
in
was striking back.
in the metropolitan. So, but you come back. On the other hand, your spiritual background is a Shia Iranian one. So
Yeah,
from for our viewers, because I get it from the beginning, but some of the viewers could be confused. So you are a Tanzanian with Indian heritage, but also on the spiritual level, you are a
yeah,
Shia, and
yeah,
that is the tradition in religion in Iran. From that perspective, yeah. So a very interesting mixture who probably set you on the path of spirituality.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
So
it set me on the path of spirituality, and also sometimes I think there's always an inclination. Certain people have an inclination to the spiritual path.
yes, that's true. They are born like that because of their probably the other life's deeds. Um, so, what, how you become a teacher? What's your professional background, Ali?
So I studied. Always loved chemistry a lot. I studied pharmacy. I studied pharmacy, and then after pharmacy, I didn't complete pharmacy, and then I studied law. So I completed my law degree, and then I thought, okay, I'm done with education now. Then I opened a cafe, and we started making flavors, shishas, chips, burgers, your normal things. And then within that, I really fell back into chemistry. So I fell back into chemistry. I became a flavorist, working in chemistry, working with different synthetic flavor compounds. And then that slowly brought me to Ayurveda, actually, Ayurvedic medicine. So I got into Ayurveda and I worked in that industry for like 10, 12 years with copper bottles, understanding the herbs, because that was sort of my journey back. So I was very spiritual when I was younger, and then sort of working in sort of UK and in different industries, and especially a synthetic chemical flavorings industry. You're not working with fresh produce. And then sort of once I found Ayurveda, and I was like, ah, okay. So there's actually another system that helps us to work with natural products. So yeah, it was chemistry, Ayurveda, and then after that, I had something to teach. That's when I became a teacher. So yeah,
Um, so for me to understand, you are born in England, and
yes.
when you come back to Tanzania?
Uh, Around 3, 4 years ago.
Okay, so let's say about 4 years ago, about 2022 or whatever. Um,
Yeah,
you live in England all your um, previous life?
like
Okay,
yeah,
all
for
right.
my previous.
Now we go to Birmingham. Probably you live in Birmingham.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's go to Pete and the story of your realization, please.
Okay. So growing up in Birmingham, it was the ghetto, it was the favela. It was like cars, drugs, it was just the normal, normal poor sort of areas. Old Spark Hill, that's my area. So grew up there, and then it was surrounded by this like crime ghetto mindset. And then I stepped out, came a little bit to Africa, and then when I came back, in the same areas in a park, I saw a leaflet for Sahaja Yoga. And then I called it. I was biking at the time. I said to Pete, I rang up and I go, I'm on a bike. Can I come? Can I park my bike inside? And he's like, yeah, sure, come over. And that was that. And then that's when I really discovered meditation because I'd been doing yoga for the last 10 years. So I'd really been preparing for the meditation well. But then when I found the Sahaja Yoga and I understood that it respected all religions and it had a place really for Islam and it was like technical. And then I felt it, boom, I went there and I was like, okay, so this feels different. And then yeah, within a few sessions, and then we went to the place in the big farm, the block switch farm. Um, I hope that's the right location. And then I just sat down in the room with all the yogis. I think there was like 150 people there. And then the speaker, we put the banda, and the speaker he began to speak, and boom, I was absolutely gone. I just felt like I was in a different world. So I was like meditating, but this time I just felt a massive level of peace. I felt like pleasure dripping down all the back of my neck. And yeah, I was just smiling, and then the speaker continued, and I was just in a different place. And I was like, okay, this is physical. This is a really physical meditation. It really takes you there.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And then
And
and
you,
then I went to a few classes, and throughout that day, the practice just got deeper and deeper and deeper. And I was just like, what on earth is happening? And yeah, and then ever since then, I thought, okay, it's a little bit strange to me the culture of Sahaja Yoga, but I'm getting used to it now. But yeah, it's undoubtable the power, the impact of this meditation. It's really undoubtable. And now I've had the opportunity to share it in quite a few schools and with quite a few students, and most importantly, with quite a few teachers. So I'm giving this practice to teachers from what I know of it, and they're telling me, oh, their kids are just in 2 or 3 sessions. Every start of the session, just for 5 minutes, they do the meditation, and boom, the kids are just like they're chill, they're calmer, you know, and then they're able to work better. So the teachers I'm giving it to, they obviously they don't know much about Sahaja Yoga. They've never heard of it, but when they take the practice, it has huge impact, and that's what teachers are looking for. If you can give a teacher something that makes kids calm down, they'll be like, "Yes, mate, I'll have that." You know
bring
what I
it.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Bring it, bring it.
I have to ask you, my dear friend, because I've been there and I know how the kids get the realization, but I want to come back to your realization.
Yeah,
I know uh, the Shimataji's picture because we give the realization with the picture of Shimataji. When you get the realization, you have picture of Shimataji there.
Yeah, I think I was in a hall, yeah, and there was some pictures around,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What is was your impact of Shimataji as a person, as a picture, and when you get the realization, and what is now? Because I know it's a little bit of controversy, and I'm not afraid of controversy because we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to explain things very,
We do, we
very.
do.
We don't have to pretend that this kind of stuff doesn't exist. So, what the impact of Shimataji's picture on you then and now?
Okay, so the way I understood it, I had to piece things together. The way I understand it is throughout history, there's spiritual masters,
Yes,
and spiritual masters, they create a grid, they create an energy field around themselves, and it can be of particular sizes.
yes,
Like for Jesus Christ, for Prophet Muhammad, for different people. And I think this is if you really become enlightened and you're able to then not only receive but then create, you can create a space. And within that space or that electromagnetic grid, then people can step in and get charged from it and it can lift their energy. I think I might be wrong, but that's my observation, and that's what I work with. I'm a farmer a lot of the time. This is my farm. Maybe we can have a little tour later. And I always look, I try to observe, try to interact, and then I try to move. And from what I can see is that with Sri Mataji and her picture, it's a link to a grid. And if you tap into that particular spiritual grid, then it lifts you and it gives you energy. So that's my understanding. So when I'm in the presence of other yogis, yeah, or other people who meditate for a long time or are very practiced in that field, then my energy lifts. When I'm in the presence of the photo of Srimataji, from my understanding, this is my logical brain, it connects to a particular grid and then it lifts your energy. So that's my sort of logical understanding of these things that when you connect to particular pieces of energy and particular masters who've created a network and a system, then they create tools and ways for you to connect. Now, the strange thing about Sahaja Yoga is it's quick, it's super fast. Like you connect to Sri Mataji and you connect to the spiritual grid, and like within a short space of time, you feel different things in your body, and you think, okay, I'm feeling more energetic. And for me, how do we measure? Because it's very subjective feeling spiritual, but for me I measure it in terms of number of thoughts produced. So for example, if before a meditation you have say 10 thoughts a minute or 200 thoughts a minute, sorry, 200 thoughts an hour, I'd say that's kind of normal. You have someone who has racing thoughts or anxiety or panicking, or someone who's breathing like that, they're going to have sort of 1,000 thoughts a minute. And then from my observations is when people do Sahaja Yoga, it just drops quickly to, from 10, 20 to 10 thoughts a minute to very quickly within 3 lessons of doing it 10 minutes a day to zero or one or two thoughts. So my observations of the picture of Srimataji is its connection to a spiritual grid that allows people to meditate quicker. So I'd say it's a physical electromagnetic tool that she
yeah,
had
we
the
can
good
we
grace
can
to
call it
gift
we can
us.
call it like that. Usually, we are talking about the vibrations. So
Yeah,
that's the sign that we are connected, feeling the
yeah,
vibration. Obviously, some
yeah,
people do not feel the vibration, but that
yeah,
didn't disconnect them. It's just a matter of not feeling, not being connected. But if you feel, it's even better. So my question is, you feel the vibration when you get the realization?
yeah, a lot, a lot. Yeah, you know, I felt my whole body was just like lifted to a different place. And yeah, it was a really good vibration.
So you've been to the
The,
Birmingham collective quite a lot in these few years. How long you stayed there?
yeah, so yeah, I've been 3 times. I just went for for a really good practice where they sort of give all your fears, you say all your fears, and then you leave that place without fears. And that was a wonderful practice because it worked. Because then whenever I think, okay, I'm scared, I'm fear, this, you know, I'm someone living in a foreign country, running you know, whatever this the farm and the teaching and the fears come sometimes. And I think, oh no, okay, I left my fears there in Birmingham. So yeah, no more fear. And you just keep cleaning and keep cleaning and keep cleaning. And the more you clean, the deeper the practice goes. The more you shine the mirror, the more you can see the reflection of the Lord.
I remember you told me when we meet in the school in Zanzibar that your wife, because you are married, if I'm not,
Yeah.
yeah, and you have children as well,
Yes.
if I
Yes.
remember well, they practice as well. I remember you told me that your wife do something, or I'm wrong.
Yeah. No. No. That's correct. So I'm definitely taking the lead on it. And there've been a few times, and they were skeptical. Of course, they're like, okay, this is not our culture. This
Yes.
is not really what we do. And but I just go to them. I go, look, we have a principle in Islam that says um, they say that even go to China to search knowledge. Yeah,
But it
China
remains
was, I'm
far
guessing,
away.
very far.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's far away. Yeah, they say search knowledge from the cradle to the grave. And I said, look, if this is working and effective and it's helping people's mental health and it's helping you become more calm and present and having a better connection to God, then we must go there. You know, we must,
Wow.
because it's our duty. You know, it's an Islamic duty at the end of the day. And I
Yes.
understand that the Sahaja yogis are real Muslims. They have a connection to Islam which is super deep,
It's
and
true.
perhaps they don't understand. Perhaps they don't. Maybe the knowledge is different, or whatever. But I've met some yogis in Birmingham, and then from an energetic perspective, I understood. Okay, these people are real Muslims. And
Yes.
there's not so many people who I could say, okay, this person's a real Muslim. So yeah, the spiritual world is complicated, but knowledge should be sought out, you know, by every person for sure.
I love very
So
much.
so yeah, they currently still do it, and now my children, because it was new for them. Yeah, it was something I knew I brought to the table when they were sort of already 10, already developed. But now we do it every morning. We have a place where we do meditation and we do yoga. And now they're starting to understand the bandhas. And now they're starting to see the benefits. Okay, I like this. And especially if they do it in classes and everybody else is doing it, then children, they like things that their friends do. And then they see the benefits. And then we discuss it after.
Right.
We're like, okay, what did you feel? What did you feel? What did you feel? And what we also do is we do a quick video scan, and
Uh-huh.
then everybody looks at how they look when they're doing meditation. So sometimes they look and they say, okay, my eyes are flicking. Yeah,
Yes.
today I wasn't concentrating so much. My
Uh-huh.
fingers are moving. Okay. But then sometimes they look, they're like, okay, I'm gone. I'm completely gone. So
Wow.
then they begin to understand the metrics. I'm quite a logical tool maker kind of person. So I like having metrics to measure growth.
That's very, very clever. I have a personal question to you. I know the Shimataji's
Of
photo,
course.
or any photo in Islam, is it's have a problem. Um,
Yeah.
you said you meditate every morning. My personal
Yes.
question to you, and I've already apologized before you answer for the question, but I have to ask. I have to
You
ask.
have to. You
Uh,
have to ask.
do you have Shimataji's photos on your altar?
Where I meditate. I'll just show you. Like
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
the
Show
whole
me.
of
Yes,
okay, let's go. So the
yes.
whole of the top place is where we meditate. It's all open.
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
Like
uh-huh.
our whole top floor is super open.
It's
Like
nature.
we
Yeah.
run, yeah, we run an Ayurvedic spa here. So yeah, I'll just show you from here. Okay, I wish I'd made the tables look better. So we have Shirodara massage tables. This, this,
Hmm.
this. and then this is our sort of our yoga area.
Uh-huh.
So there's not any. I've tried putting photos and stuff before, but everything just degrades.
Yes.
It all just degrades. So we don't currently have a photo, but I've used it in the past, and I understand its potency and its power. This is a little bridge we made.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite cool.
Wow.
So I understand its potency and its power. I do understand it, but yes, it does represent certain logical issues for people in Islam.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean the Sahaja Yoga stuff should not be accessed by Muslims because it's a
Exactly.
wonderful spiritual tool. Instead, what we should do is we should be having sort of open discussions about how can we do this, how can we make it work, what's the benefits, what's not the benefits, and try to find the benefits, try to find the essence of what's good.
Yes.
You know, that's how I feel.
Yes. Thank you for that, and thank you for show us your temple. It's top of, yeah. It's everything. It's in nature, so you are surrounded by God. Basically, you are in the middle of the nature. What more we
Yeah,
want? Dear friend,
this is
I
I
have to
think
tell you that you are the first. Wow, wow, that's
yeah. So
the garden.
we're just on a bridge.
Yes,
That's our farm. So we're growing lots of organic food
that's good.
and yeah, organic stuff. And yeah, I think the camera's a little bit blurry, but maybe there'll be another link to one of the YouTube videos where you can see the farm properly. But yeah, we passed by orange trees and we
Wow.
passed by good food and all this stuff vibrates. All this stuff vibrates massively and it gives
Yes.
you huge energy. Everything in nature vibrates huge. Yeah, those are oranges ready to pick. Hey.
Wow. You don't
Yeah.
wait
So
until they are yellow, or this is kind of a
yeah,
different.
no, these oranges are green. These
Yes,
oranges are
that's why
green,
I'm
and if
asking.
it would stay green,
Uh-huh.
they will once you pick them, they'll become orange. They'll become a little bit yellow,
Uh-huh.
but they're predominantly green, and we eat them and juice them still while they're green.
Wow. Yes,
This is one of the tree houses that we have. It's
for the
really
kids.
nice inside.
Yes.
Yeah, and not for adults as well. Yes, the Sahaja
Oh,
Yogis
okay.
slept in there when they came also. Yeah, it's like
Wow.
for like 8 people.
So
Yeah.
how many Sahaja Yogis are there? I mean adults.
Uh, so we had about 12, no, we had about 7 visit us and they stayed the night. We done a meditation inside a baobab tree. It was super nice. There's a
Wow.
tree. There's a tree in one of our on one of the neighboring grounds. There's a tree, and then we can go inside the tree. You can fit like 10 people inside the tree. So yeah, so we went inside, we meditated, and they told me some really good information about the tree and about how it works and how they felt connected to the actual tree, how the top of their heads felt like the leaves, and they actually felt in the roots. So yeah, it was a really good learning curve for me.
Wow.
So I'm just coming down off the tree.
Those Sahaja Yogis are from Zanzibar or from Dar es Salaam?
No, there was a trip of Sahaja Yoga people came from all over the world. They were from Italy and Germany.
But that
And
was just one gathering. But
yeah,
in a day-to-day life,
yes,
there are few others, or are you by yourself there?
no, and I'm by myself, but me and my one fellow teacher, we meditate together.
Wow. In Zanzibar.
Yeah, in Zanzibar. Yeah,
In Zanzibar. People from Dar es Salaam come to you sometimes, or
so
you.
we've got a very young Sahaja Yogi community, and we're sort of working with it now. Now we have weekly meetings online. Every Friday we meet up, and
Wow.
slowly, hopefully, this will become a Sahaja Yoga center.
Wow, very, very good. Because we belong to Sahaja Yoga, Africa Sahaja Yoga Meditation, we have online meetings. And because we've been to
Yeah.
Tanzania, we are
Yeah.
added to that and the hour is very good for us because
Mm.
New Zealand is completely upside down. So the only a decent hour for us. It's the African meditation, which is about in the
Okay.
afternoon. It's about 5 o'clock in the
Nice.
afternoon for us. Everything else is not
Oh,
very
okay.
easy because it will be during the
Accessible.
night or very
Yeah.
late in the night or early in the morning, 3 o'clock in the night or 11 o'clock. So Africa meditation is good. So are you going to Dar es Salaam for some gathering? They have puja or things like that?
So at the moment where I am is I'm in a Sahaja Yoga Africa group,
Yes.
and yeah, so I'm running through this group. I've mentioned a few times, like well, I've mentioned once to Hanif, like I'm happy to host or happy to go. I think I'm still learning the ropes, and then we'll make plans definitely to go to Tanzania.
Fantastic, fantastic. I remember I have very fond
I just want
memories.
I just wanted to show you these are the rabbits we have, like for organic food.
Uh-huh,
We have a lot of rabbits and poo collection and everything else.
uh-huh,
We
uh-huh.
collect here. We collect the urine and everything here.
Yeah, and
So
use it
it's
in the
starting to
garden.
rain now. So let's go inside.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, so hopefully I'll definitely be looking forward to going to the Tanzania, for sure,
yes.
because impact of the meditation is huge, for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the impact of the collective meditation is very important. Uh,
Yes, absolutely.
we know from the beginning of Sahaja Yoga but that are two ways of connecting. One is a personal one. When are you doing your personal meditation daily, morning,
Yeah,
evening, uh, not long, a short one, but in
yeah,
the same time, it's good to have a collective meditation. I know exactly
yeah,
what are you true, because here in New Zealand, we are the same. It's only my wife and I here in the little town we live, somewhere in the north of New Zealand.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's not that easy. So we are not exactly belonging to a collective in a sense of being there all the time. So we are going just for puja every 2, 3 pujas, not even every puja, and basically that's all. Everything else it's meditation online. So
Yeah.
Delia and I, we are the only Sahaja Yogi here, and we are doing everything we can. Before we meet today, I have a foot soak for the evening to make sure that I'm ready. So um, that I have another question for you. You invite us uh, to your school where you teach chemistry and English, if I'm not wrong, last year. How how come this idea to you to invite people to come to and give realization to the kids? Who you contact first? You contact the people from Dar es Salaam, I suppose.
So Pete contacted me.
Uh-huh,
He said there's a trip that's coming to Zanzibar.
uh-huh,
Um, I think you'll good connect with them, and he's always trying to connect me with other yogis so I can deepen my practice. So yeah, I really connected with the guys with Hanif on that trip, and then he said, "Okay, let's try to organize something. Can we come to your school?" So they came to the school where I'm teaching English and spirituality at that particular school. Another school I'm teaching science.
uh-huh.
So yeah, and we connected, and then yeah, it just went from there. And then yeah, as I said, if you can give a teacher a tool that helps calm the children down, they'll all use it. That's why I think this is a really good tool in throughout Tanzania and Africa, because yeah, it's free, it doesn't take anything, and it works. Yeah, and just imagine over the next
So
just
this is
imagine over the next 10 years if all the children are meditating 5 minutes before the beginning of each class or each day. You
wow.
know, it will be superb for humankind.
This is not a very good pictures of you in one of the classes there. Took it last year in November, something like that. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so this is the school, and this is Hanif, but there are a few other people here I know from that trip. I want to share that with you. I wasn't sure
Yeah.
you have that picture, and I have few other picture, very interesting pictures. Um, that's another good picture with Hanif wife. Sorry,
Yeah, yeah,
um, and this is Udo. Udo
yeah,
Sekulic from yeah, and this is Gianni, and many other Sahaja Yogi here. So that was the atmosphere in the school, but I have few more pictures showing a very interesting image about people getting realization. So those are the kids. This is Kasturi. Those are the kids who get realization.
yeah.
And shortly, I want to talk about how they respond to that realization then and now. How was the journey from them? What I remember was the big opening. So they are obviously shy because they are young, they are teenagers, so they're not very talkative. But on the other hand, they are quite uh, interest, interested, very, very interested. I have a nice
For sure.
picture here with a lady who explained to a girl. You can see the shyness of them and the purity of this girl. I love this picture.
Yeah.
So uh, how they after we left, how they what they told you?
The children, they responded really well. They say, in Swahili, they say itatulia. It relaxes me. It's very
Uh-huh.
relaxing. And yeah, the uptake was so fast because I think Tanzania, it's a very peaceful place. The people are, kind and peaceful and respectful. And then when you put meditation on top of that, it just takes, it just dissolves, you know. So the students, they just take it, and I've got some images I I can share with you another time. Um, where the kids, you can just see like utter blissfulness on their face, utter concentration. And then they're just gone. They've just melted inside themselves. They're having zero thoughts. And like this is a whole class of like 20 kids, and they're all like this because they already don't take too much stress anyway in their lives. But when you put this meditation in, they really just take to it beautifully. So yeah, the feedback is great and it continues. And every day of every class, they look forward to, our teacher, we're doing 5, 10 minutes meditation today. Yes, okay. So and then they're like, okay. And then they like it. And when we finish, they don't want to come out. They're like, oh, I want to stay here. I want to stay in the meditation. Then we say, okay, it's time for class. And then they slowly wake up and come back to reality. Yeah. So
you are
they're taking it really well.
you are doing every time when you teach them, or time to time, or
Every morning.
really?
Yeah, we do every morning. Yeah, we do like 5 or 7 or 8 minutes, however long we need,
Yeah.
or if we're late. So we have a rule that if you come late to class, you do 3 press-ups per minute. So nobody comes late, but they do sometimes. But if they do, then they just self-discipline, right? They just do their push-ups, then they join the circle.
Yes.
Yeah, so we do a few push-ups and planks normally. We do the meditation first,
Yeah.
and then we do a little bit exercise. We do competitions, children of competition. So we do a plank competition or
Yeah.
a press-up competition, and then we start the day. So it's part of our morning routine, and I think it should be. Yeah, it's a nice. I always give them the analogy like, would you like to work on a dirty desk? And they're like, oh, and I give them the analogy, and I put all the rubbish on the desk, and I say, okay, now do your work. They're like, no, like this is like your thoughts. So let's clear the thoughts first with meditation, and then we start to work. And they get it, and they feel it, and it works.
Wow. How's the guy who wants to be the president?
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's nearly there. He's nearly there. Yeah, we're gonna vote for him soon.
Our viewers doesn't know. My question come out of the blue. When we've been there, Shan-e-Ali asked a few of the children what they want to become. So one of the guy said, "I want to be the president." I'm not sure of the Tanzania or of the United Nations. I don't
Well,
know, but that doesn't really matter. He wants to be a president of something,
he wants to be a leader.
a
He's
leader.
telling us that he wants to be a leader. He wants to lead his people. So he
Nothing
might
wrong.
have seen something or been inspired, or that might be his natural inclination to lead.
Yes, nothing wrong with that. If you are a wise leader, we need wise leaders.
Yeah,
That's the point.
for
Nothing
sure, for
to
sure.
be ashamed about that. So, what's the actual status with Sahaja Yoga now? In my understanding, you have another fellow teacher with you meditate together. Sometimes people from the continent, from the Tanzania, come to Zanzibar. You've been online. So, and the kids are doing meditation every day. So I am right in my understanding. It's something else to add to that.
Yeah, pretty much. I think at the moment we're in the beginning stages. So
Yes.
we meet every Friday. So from all over Africa, we meet every Friday, and I think it's more of a learning on how to do all the stuff properly. Yeah. So I think that's what the current phase we're in. So we're learning, okay, let's how to do all this stuff properly. And then I think the plan is to have weekly sessions at my place physically. And then I think slowly people will come and I'll advertise and stuff like that. And then sort of whenever people come from the mainland or anywhere to Zanzibar, we'll have nice meetups. So yeah,
Uh,
we're slowly building a team.
have you ever lead a meditation?
No, I've never led, I've assisted, but I've never led.
How you feel of leading the
I've
meditation?
I've never led it in the Sahaja Yoga way. This with the with
Mantra.
all the aspects.
How
But
you
I'm a teacher, so I'm very comfortable with leading stuff.
how you feel about mantras in Sanskrit?
So I come from a place where we use zikr a lot. We use particular words and names of God a lot. You know, even now I'm always
I
trying to hold my tasbih because like 95% of the subconscious mind, I think the mind is 95% subconscious. Yeah. And if we're sort of in the background of our mind, trying to program beautiful names like the all loving one and, kindness and love. And these are beautiful ways to program your subconscious. So I see mantras like this. Mantras are knowledge, and Sanskrit is a particular language, and it's a very beautiful melodic language. Yeah. And I think it's older than Arabic.
yes.
And there's so much beauty and love and joy inside it. And the masters, our ancestors, have made tools within Sanskrit that help us to achieve a closer connection to God. So it should be respected, looked at, and used.
Have you feel that saying the name of God? We have there is a Sahaja Yoga mantra book, and when it's coming to Svadhistan, we pray to Hazrat Ali,
Ah, okay.
and there are names of also of Allah in the mantra book.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what I'm beginning to understand.
99 names of Allah
Yes.
in mantra book. I have to
Yes.
tell you that in Sahaja Yoga culture, which some people do not grasp it perfectly, in a sense that uh, some people grasp Sahaja Yoga culture a little bit, some people, a little bit uh, easily, a little bit not deep, how should I put it? Superficial. uh, in some of the people, the importance of Hazrat Ali and Muhammad is not so big. I tell you before that my wife and I and few other friends, which happen to live in Turkey, and the Turkish Sahaja Yogi give a lot of importance to that aspect, especially because it's not that do not give too much importance generally. So we know that the name of God, names of God, no matter in what language, the one I told you, 99 of Allah, it's in Arabic, but the other names are in Sanskrit. My
Mm.
perspective, and not only mine, is that no matter, some of them are in English, and also we translate it because we want to know the meaning. We are not robots. So the name of God, it's another way to approach God. Saying the name of God in any language, it's another way of getting close to God. How you feel about that?
Yeah, I think the names of God are super beautiful, super, super beautiful. And there's a lot of people who are not Muslim, but they come to our site because we're like an Ayurvedic hospital or Ayurvedic center. So a lot of people come for different treatments, bodily and, you know, meditations and steam and all these things. So I'd always try to tell them, like, if you control your nervous system, then you'll have less contraction in the muscles. If you
Yes.
have less contractions, then your back or whatever aches you have, they'll just automatically, they'll melt themselves. So I say to them, try to hold the words of God or whatever you believe in, try to hold the positive words. If you hold like for example, all loving, al-wadud. Al-wadud is the word for all loving. So then, yeah, often I try to practice with them. This last week we had some people coming over for a camp, and they stayed a while. And then often we'd just sit and we'd recite Al Wadud, Al Wadud, Al Wadud, Al Wadud, because that was the vibe we had. It was a very like loving camp. It was a very like there was a lot of vibe. There was a lot of positive vibes. So I think for Asma al Husna, I like to select the one that's appropriate, you know? So in this one, I think it's about knowledge and spreading knowledge and ilm. So I think it's about selecting the appropriate name of God and saying it in that moment. But yeah, I'm so happy. And this is what I'm beginning to understand that the Sahaja yogis, they have a lot of Islamic spiritual essence within them. And if that can help to bring people closer to God, and if that can help, Zanzibar is like 98% Muslim. So if that can
Yes.
help my students and my community bring people closer to God, then although it's a tricky area, it's my duty to, you know, try to understand and learn and yeah, get closer to God. Because if we're not here for that, then
Yeah.
what are we here for?
I suggest to get online mantra book, and you will
Yeah,
see the 99 name of Allah there.
yeah,
And
for sure.
you don't have the mantra book yet, or how?
No, not yet. Not yet.
I can send you a link.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure, that'd be nice.
I will send you a link on online one. We have a hard copy as well, but I'm sure you like it, and everything is there, starting with Ar Rahman and all the name until 99. So with translation in English, so we will use it, but not as often as maybe should. But definitely, my wife and I, we are on this track to paying a little bit more attention to this part of subtle body, because in the end, it's about the subtle body. All these chakras and all this name we said, that part of our subtle body. So in the end, this is the point. It's not like it's not necessarily a cultural thing. So I was you when we have the setting, you pay a little bit attention to the object behind you. You want to put it visible. What is about this object behind you?
Ah,
The other side.
that's a copper water tank. So we work in Ayurvedic medicine, and in Islam and all cultures, we hold water at the highest level. Now, copper has awesome vibrations. It's
Yes.
it's it's what we call in science sonorous. When something is sonorous, is it has ability to make sound. So we're saying particular vibrations now, and these are a lot of them to do with God. Now that is going to move the water. Yeah. Now, when we move the water, we're moving in a positive direction. If we were saying less, if we were saying more negative words or fighting or something, then also that effect goes into the water. And if you're saying positive words, then also that effect goes into the water. So when I was working in Ayurveda, we were making these tools, these copper bottle tools, and we were putting jewels on them. In Islam, we wear something called akik, the red stone. And I thought, okay, why only on the finger? Why not on the water? Because we're basically big bags of water, like 80% water,
Yeah.
and a pot of water is also water. So can we put it on that? So yeah, I made these products, and yeah, they're water vessels, and they hold water, and yeah, I thought it'd be a good background shot because I'm getting into video editing now. So I thought, okay, it's nice to have like
Yeah.
foreground light and background light, and yeah, these kind of things.
Uh, in uh, in a Hindu culture, which is very, very old, tens of
Yeah,
thousand
yeah.
years old, from there, all the culture, all the spirituality emerged.
Hmm,
Uh,
hmm.
this kind of container with a shape a bit similar with that is called kumba.
Yeah,
And kumba also is filled with water, and on top
yes,
of that you put a coconut which also have water,
yes.
symbolizing the water from the rivers and the water
Mm.
from the ocean, because the coconut basically, even if it's sweet, extract the water from the sea.
Oh,
So that's the
yeah,
symbolism. If you see sometimes copper vase, a bit
yeah,
similar with yours,
yeah,
different, but with a coconut, you should know that this is the symbolism. It's nothing just for show or
yeah.
for
Ah,
decoration.
excellent. I like this.
Everything is for a purpose, and I'm sure there are many Sahaja Yogi people who will tell you a lot of stuff, but I take the occasion to tell you a few little things myself, like for
Nice. That's
example.
really nice. I really like.
Yes.
I really appreciate that one. That's super good.
Yeah, there are things. The symbolism is very important in Islam as well. So
Yeah,
I was looking for asking you in the future if you have videos with your fellow Sahaja yogis or with the kids doing meditation. I will
yeah.
ask
We
you,
have.
I will ask you very kindly to send us, if
Sure.
obviously, excuse me, obviously if you agree to upload them, because it's nothing to be ashamed. For me it's a way to advertise a little bit, to show how the Sahaja Yoga is working in not only in Africa, because it's more than Africa, it's in a Muslim, so it's a very, very interesting combination there. So you are the first Muslim Sahaja Yogi I'm talking. I don't know others,
Yeah,
and for me it's fascinating how you embrace it. My one of
yeah.
my last question is, um, What is Shrimataji for you, Shan-e-Ali?
At the moment, Srimataji, I'm taking everything very logically. Yeah. So I want to serve my community in whatever way that is. Initially, when I came to, I live in the middle of nowhere, literally the middle of nowhere. But now there's road networks and there's people who are building around me, and now we have a lot of traffic here. So I wanted some silence and some quiet, and some in this silence and quietness, I began to understand how to observe my own body. And when things have a spiritual effect, especially things like this, and it's very quick, uh, we need to understand them and what they are. So Sahaja Yoga and Srimataji is a tool for a tool I can use to help my students and to help myself. There's certain people, like certain people, if you show them Srimataji, then of course, Islamically, it won't work for them.
No.
But there's other people from other religions that it will work for them, and then they'll be able to calm themselves super well. There's certain cultures that Islamic things that it won't work for them, and there's certain things in Sahaja Yoga that will work for Muslims. Like this is what I'm trying to just explain, that Sahaja Yoga it has its spiritual roots, a lot of it with Islam, and they use Asmaul Husna, and the essence is when you get into deeper spiritual levels, you realize that okay, on the higher levels, there's so much connections. On the lower levels, there's so much differences.
Yes.
But then when you begin to go further and further and further and further higher into spirituality, like okay, you can use more tools from different places. But on the lower levels, no. And for children, it sort of they're on the lower levels, and they need to learn how to walk a path, one
Absolutely.
particular path, and that's good for them.
Absolutely.
So for me, Srimataji and Sahaja Yoga is a wonderful tool that should be used where it's appropriate, and for which cultures is appropriate, and for which students is appropriate.
Yep.
Like this.
Yep. Yep. So I will ask you again. I will remind you to send me whatever footage you believe it's worth it to illustrate a little bit Sahaja Yoga in Zanzibar. I mean specifically there, because in Tanzania,
Yeah.
in Dar es Salaam, there are other Sahaja Yogis there. It's Ramesh and few others. Um, so if it's something else you want to tell us, if I forget to ask you something, if you want to share something else,
No worries.
it, you always can access or talk to me. And for our final, do you want to say something else for our final?
Yeah, I would. Okay. I'd like
Please.
to say that for the Muslim community, I understand that looking into different cultures, different religions is, it's not advisable sometimes. And the beauty of Islam is, for me, is its impact on society. If you look at Islamic culture and places where Islam is, like Iran, like Dagestan, like a lot of places and a lot of communities, even London, England, Birmingham, the people they hold together. The Islamic people, they work together, they hold together, and they provide stable communities. You know, they provide a place where children can get a good moral education. They work within communities and they have community support. Now, if you look in different places right now, I feel that communities have been systematically broken.
Yeah.
I think communities come through a combined spiritual effort, which often comes through a religion. And I think systematically, if there's no communities, we're much easier to control. Yeah, it's easier to control a human population. And right now we're being controlled,
Yes.
and we're becoming commodities because we don't have any power, because I don't know my neighbor. And in Islam, they say look after your 7 neighbors to the left and 7 neighbors to the right, and it really works. You go to an airport as a Muslim, you go to an airport and you see a guy with a beard, or you just think he's Muslim, and then you just like, okay, let's just go pray together. Or if someone's just praying there, you never met this guy in your life, you never even made eye contact with, you just stand next to him, and you will both perform the same spiritual practice without even asking permission or anything, and you never met each other, you don't even speak the same language, but you have that connection. So now Islam, it brings society together. Yeah, it brings it together consistently, and it makes us one piece, you know. And the way good Muslims treat non-Muslims is super good also. You know, they treat them very, very well, you know. But Islam has an area to grow where it has to be more respectful to religion, not the religion itself, but just the people and the culture. But because we're being oppressed currently, it probably makes us more defensive. So this is the really good way that the whole world can benefit and unite and fight against our current oppressors. I don't think the whole world should be Muslim. I think people should be whatever religion they like. But I think the Muslim people, if they are utilized by the rest of the world, can make a good, strong part of the fabric of the communities. And I think all the other religions and spiritual communities, they should come together. And if we stand together, imagine if we stand shoulder to shoulder, all spiritual communities, Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, you know, Sahaja Yogas. Imagine if everybody say, okay, we practice different, we are different, that's okay, but we stand together. We can't be controlled. And currently we're being controlled massively. I like Sahaja Yoga because it has really good Islamic aspects inside it. And I like Sahaja Yoga because it works. You know, as a scientist, as a teacher, I take something, I experiment with it, and I see what are the outcomes. And for Sahaja Yoga, the outcomes are fantastic. These kids, they're dropping into a state of meditation like this. You know, and for me personally, it worked. I got into a deeper state of meditation than I have ever gone into before. You know, so for me, Sahaja Yoga, it works. For me, Islam works massively for societies. Yeah. But when it comes to higher and deeper spiritual practice, I only found it in Sufism in Islam. That's my opinion. Maybe I didn't look in the right place or whatever, but that's where I
right.
found it.
Tell you.
And yeah, and I think Islam can really benefit from these meditation techniques, you know, and I think the whole world can benefit from the way Islam sticks together and manages societies in terms of simple brotherhood, not maybe going up to the higher areas, the higher energy centers, but on a base level, on looking after communities, on making sure children have good morals, understanding, and fight for what's right. That does it good. And if we do it together, man, it's beautiful.
Describing Islam is like describing Sahaja Yoga. So
yeah,
it's
exactly.
Sahaja Yoga is not a religion by itself. It's not another branch compared with Hinduism, or have the roots in Hinduism, because
Right.
Hinduism is very old, and it's happened to be in India. But from India, migrate everywhere. So Sahaja Yoga is not just another religion, but it's not even a syncretism of religion. So Shimataji do not come here and born 103 years ago to make a syncretism from all the religion and to call that Sahaja Yoga. No, Sahaja Yoga have a very old and ancient wisdom and spirituality, which happens to be in all the religion, but people forget that in their religion. I will tell you a little story. It was 1993 when I was lucky to be in Istanbul, when Shimataji came and for a public program. And we have a puja there. You know about the puja. So But before that, she invited a group of Sufi musicians who sing those beautiful Sufi songs, which for me,
Kawalis.
yes, a special of Qawwali, not the Qawwali from Pakistan.
Yeah,
Yeah. So for me was the first time when I heard those Sufi Qawwali, and I was so moved. Next day, she was invited to the Sufi ashram where they performed the dance. The first meeting was more or less um, formal. They come in uniform. There was like a band of people who are singing like the artists. They perform in a hotel. You can find. I can send you the link from that puja, from that.
yes,
Hopefully, is the music there as well. But next day, they invite Shimataji to the Sufi ashram, and they give up their uniform and they dress in their classical dresses, and they perform the dance and they sing to Shimataji. They offer her the highest place, the throne of the leader of the Sufi, who
exactly.
recognize Shimataji, who it is. And in that uh, small talk of her, she told them, "You, Sufi, are Sahaja Yogis,
Yeah,
or the Sufi and Sahaja Yogi are the same."
yeah,
And I was
exactly.
lucky to be there. So that's
Ah,
first
okay.
first hand what I experienced, what I listened.
Ah,
So
interesting.
I want to share with I want to share with you that, to let you know that you are right, and the link between the Sufi Shia, because Sufi are Shia, and Sahaja Yoga, it's much stronger and much deeper than many people realize.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, agreed.
So
It's meant benefit. It's for all religions.
absolutely. But obviously, we are looking for benefits, and there are, yeah, you bring the community in the discussion, and which is very important because this is the life here on this earth. But on the other hand, our main goal should be probably our main goal should be one with God. So
Yes.
in the end,
Let-
that's our goal.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Danielle. That's it's been a lovely time spent with you. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
I thank you very much, and I hope you will come again and tell us few other stories. I don't know. We will keep in touch, and if you have something to tell us, you think it's worth it, or I will ring you again in few months or whatever, and I ask you how the things are going, and maybe we will
Yeah,
do another meeting if it will be some other development.
sure thing.
Okay. On that note, I want to thank you and to the people who are watching us for you being here, for them looking and watching us, and I encourage all the comments they wanted. And on that perspective, I thank you very much again, Shan-e-Ali.
Thank you, Danielle
Okay.
Bostan.
Bye bye.
Take care. Bye bye.